we're set to go. So please type a 7 in the chat if you can see me and hear me, or share some love with emojis. I really have to laugh at myself besides the computer technical challenges that we're having this morning. I not that long ago had a pretty massive transformation around emojis, and now I absolutely and completely adore them and love them. So, we are still getting used to going live on YouTube. We use Zoom for all of our webinars for our online workshops, and it's very different. You need to go live on YouTube from a computer, you need a separate software, a separate platform, and that's what my computer was freaking out about this morning. So, it's it's a miracle that we are here. So, official welcome to the new weekly SEM Mondays live open Q&A show here on YouTube. This is absolutely the place to be every week to ask questions about source energy medicine, or health and well-being in general. But I like to keep the content, the focus on source energy medicine, and I created SEM Mondays primarily for those who are new and relatively new to source energy medicine, so that you'll have a way of being able to quickly and easily ask questions and get answers. Because I don't know about you, if I'm trying something new and I can't find the answers to my questions or have a way of being able to find them easily, I typically don't stick with that. And you not sticking with source energy medicine would be super sad to me. So now, just so that you don't miss anything, schedule this into your calendar as a repeating event every single Monday, God willing. I will be here at 1:11 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10:10 a.m. for Pacific Time folks. And when you're on YouTube, if you click that totally awesome bell icon, you'll be notified when I'm live, as well as when I upload new content to our YouTube channel. So I love that we have folks who literally find source energy medicine each and every day, and I am grateful to have this opportunity to connect with you. And if you stumbled upon this somehow, some way, and you don't know, my name is Stephen Pollitt, and I created source energy medicine way back in 2005, and have been passionately sharing it ever since. So the chat box is indeed open to your questions if we are broadcasting, which I still have a little bit of question in my mind. My monitor is not cooperating, but my computer does say that we are live streaming. So I'm going to go ahead and pretend that we are live streaming, and hopefully there's at least one person who is receiving this. So if you are indeed on with me live and you have questions, you can type your questions into the chat box, or just throw some emojis in there. Show me some love, thumbs up, smiley faces, hearts. I love it all. So I have a few really good questions that have come in by email, and some things that were posted inside the Source Energy Medicine Quick Start Guide, the comments underneath the pre-recorded videos. SEM Mondays are very intentionally designed to be, or created to be, short. 11 minutes is all we have. And it's 11 minutes so that even if you are the busiest person, hopefully you value health and well-being and your health and well-being, right? And healing yourself. Hopefully you value that greatly, and can carve out 10, 11 minutes, 15 minutes into your day every Monday. I think it's a fantastic way to start your week off, right? So there have been a bunch of questions that came in a couple of weeks ago on SEM Mondays Live. There was a theme that unfolded. I think pretty much the whole SEM Mondays was talking all about the coronavirus, pandemics in general, the various nasty flus and viruses that are going around, colds that have this like hacking ongoing, lingering cough, and what to do about that. So if you missed that, please make sure you check out on our So a couple of just technical things before we go. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. So you can go to YouTube, not even on our channel, but you could go to YouTube and you could type in to the search bar on YouTube, Source Energy Medicine, pandemics, and that clip will come up. Or you could type in Source Energy Medicine and Subconscious Mind, and that would come up. Or Source Energy Medicine, How to Make, and that clip would come up. And if for some reason you're typing stuff with really good keywords into the search and you're not finding, if we don't have content, let me know. So and it could be that we have content and it's not tagged correctly, or it's often how we come up with a new topic for what to make next. So and the reason why I say make sure you check that out, because until your energy level is very, very, very high, and even if you're entered, like I haven't had a cold or a flu or anything since 2005, and yet, I have friends, family, folks who get colds and flus all the time, and knowing exactly what I could possibly do to help them, to support them, it leaves me in a place of empowerment, right? That is very, very freeing. It's very empowering. So, colds and flus are part of most humans' lives, and pandemics these days seem to be part of our reality as well. So, yeah. So this thread that I'm just simply going to read here came in from Greg, and it was posted underneath the video that's in the Source Energy Medicine Quick Start Guide, and it's the one that is titled, "Do you have any destructive mindsets that might prevent Source Energy Medicine from working for you?" And the same clip is on our YouTube channel as well. But this comment and questions were posted inside the Quick Start Guide, just for clarification. So Greg says, "I was arrested when I heard you say, quote unquote, I heard this before. This tells me that being at the same place again, which is listening to you, I have not completely handled the knowledge and received, and was manifested as pride and the suggestion of self-sabotage. There has been a lifelong history of not following through with projects that pertain to spiritual development. Self-sabotage will say something to me like, I will not get the results, and then help to back that up with some history based on previous experiences, or some reason that Greg will accept as true. You mention about tightening up, manifesting from the resistance going on inside of you. I believe IBS has become chronic due to an aggressive mental suggestion that has not been handled for years. Your video pointed the finger at a few of them. Thank you." So, if you haven't seen it, the whole clip on destructive mindsets, my gosh, every time that I embarking upon learning something new, I always think, do I have any destructive mindsets that are going to get in that way? And there are so many things in that one clip that will help to ensure your success with Source Energy Medicine, as well as if you do have destructive mindsets, they will absolutely get in the way from you experiencing the transformation that you are seeking. So, bless you, Greg, for sharing what was going on for you. And, my life before Source Energy Medicine, I had this very strong knowing that somehow, some way, I would be able to heal myself. And I think back at it now, and it's odd that I was able to get there, because my history was filled with 10 or more years of trying and not succeeding, disappointment, frustration, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars invested over that period of time. So, it in a way, I don't know how I did not have destructive mindsets, right? And part of it was I was desperate. My challenges were progressive, and they were getting to the point where Even in my early 30s, I could see that these challenges, it was literally difficult for me to think a year in advance. And what was really difficult was to think what it was going to feel like a year in advance, let alone 5 or 10 or 20 years into the future. So, you know, it's I think it's all interesting to think about. And I often say, you may have seen clips in which I say, in an ideal world, everyone would always explore healing on the subconscious, which is the domain of source energy medicine and is the key player. It is absolutely, if I had not transformed my subconscious mind, I would still have all of the challenges that I had before 2005, and I would have had like hundreds of colds and flus since, because that was my history, and that's how powerful the subconscious mind is in terms of what I experience on a day-to-day basis. So, just for clarification, I want you to know that more often than not, Milo and I take a bunch of questions that have come in where a lot of people are basically asking the same question or very similar questions, and rather than read each and every email, I simply answer the question that everyone is asking. So I think it's important for you to pay attention, because I don't always say, this came in from Greg. I more often than not say there are a lot of questions that have came in. Like last Monday, the theme was all about questions that had come in recently about how to make and how to take source energy medicine, and specifically about the charging labels. So it's more rare that I ask a question, or read a question, or share a comment that came in. So gosh, uh, even with the technical challenges, we're beyond our 11 minutes, and I just want to check and see if there's anything in the chat box. Anyone has any questions? And you know what? I'm gonna, since we had a clunky start and a late start, I want to make sure that you get value from the time that you're investing in watching this, whether you're live or in replay. There's another comment that came in that I think is ties into my last comment about healing consciously, subconsciously, and unconsciously. So the share is, and I'm simply going to read this one as well. The content of belief is the main issue in all life. That is why it has been so hard for me to believe in God. Out of desperation, I wanted God to do it all. Then when the results are not forthcoming on my timetable, I blame myself for sabotaging it with unbelief. All healing depends on me and not grace. And I'm going to pause there because I don't agree with that at all. So I firmly believe that all healing in any aspect of life is simply because of grace. It is simply because the love and the grace of the divine, the love and the grace of divine infinite intelligence, the source of all creation. Now, it's a little bit more than that, because I'm a student of A Course in Miracles, and A Course in Miracles teaches us that one of the reasons why our prayers are not answered is because the universal law that dominates the human experience is cause and effect. So we as humans, I as a human, have created situations, conditions, dis-ease, right? And that's the realm of effect. And if I pray to God to heal that, to transform that, to correct that, God won't, because God will not interfere in the universal law that God created of cause and effect. However, Course in Miracles teaches us that I can pray that God or the Holy Spirit or my higher self intercede on my behalf at the level of cause. And from my perspective, the level of cause is always vibrational. It's always energetic. It's often subconscious. So, and yes, unconscious and conscious beliefs are absolutely cause. Every single thought, feeling, emotion that I engage in is like dropping a pebble in the middle of a still pond. And depending upon what that pebble is, if it is fear or hatred or and so let's stick with fear. If it's fear, that pebble is going to create ripples. Those ripples are going to go out to the edge of the pond or the edge of the universe in this metaphor, picking up like vibrations along the way. And when it reaches the edge, will return to me, right? Picking up momentum, picking up like vibrations along the way. So there's another passage that I think it's attributed to St. Paul that says, essentially the answers of your prayers are unanswered because you pray amiss. You're praying incorrectly, right? And it's not a matter of not having the right petition or the right words or the right devotion or the right altar to kneel before, but it's because we're praying for something that can't happen universally speaking, right? So I can't create a mess in any aspect of my life and then pray to God to clean up my mess. God will help me to clean up my own mess, but it can only be done at the level of cause. So when I had, before Source Energy Medicine, all of the challenges I had were because the calibration of the physical aspect of my being. That was cause, and then the effect was the dis-ease. So by transforming not the dis-ease, but transforming the vibration of the physical aspect of my being, healing began to occur rapidly. So I hope that makes sense. So the effect is being changed, not by messing with the effect. And, so outside of Source Energy Medicine, everybody just wants to look at the dis-ease, the pathogens, the coronavirus, and let's kill it, let's fight it, let's eradicate it, let's do whatever it takes, right? And that's a futile approach to healing, right? We can have short-term positive results in doing that, but long-term, I'm actually feeding and further expanding the morphic field of that effect. So the likelihood of the challenge, if I have success short-term, the challenge will come back. So when I am able to, at the level of effect, make a significant transformation, then and only then can I experience a different effect. And that's why with Source Energy Medicine, it is to a large degree like hitting a cosmic reset button so that my past doesn't influence my future. My past, the way my genes were expressing themselves were very, very, very different from the way my genes are expressing themselves today and have been since 2005. So I know that was a lot for a little last question, but my goodness, what a really, 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 really good. So again, to kind of recap all of that, I believe all healing is only possible with the love and the grace of divine infinite intelligence, God, if you will. And I have to do my part, right? I have to do my part, which very often means doing forgiveness work or look at unconscious beliefs that I believe to be true about myself, about God, about the world, about the challenges that I'm experiencing, and then transform them if they're not supportive, if they're not helpful, or even better yet, if they are something I believe to be true, it's not really true at all. It's simply a lie that someone in authority told me and I bought into, or even better yet, a lie that I told myself and I bought into. So my friends, gosh, I hope this was helpful for you. Live or in replay, share some love, some comments, some emojis, and make sure you click that awesome bell icon on YouTube so you'll be notified when I'm live next Monday. God willing and technology willing at our same time, 1:11 p.m. on the East Coast, 11:11 in the mountains, and 10:10 on the Pacific. So, as always, sending you continued blessings on your journey with Source Energy Medicine. Bye for now.